The 2024 Olympic Volleyball Beach Tournament just came to an end, and congratulations to the nation of Sweden as their men's beach volleyball duo took home the gold. But what this Swedish beach volleyball team just accomplished might have just changed the landscape of beach volleyball forever. Jonathan Helvig and David Aman used a certain beach volleyball strategy that might not have only secured them a gold medal, but might have just changed the way that beach volleyball will be played forever. So for today's video, we are going to be taking a deep dive into the game of beach volleyball and how I see it being changed forever. I see this as being something super exciting, and honestly, it might get me back on the beach playing some more outdoor volleyball. So without further ado, PME Volleyball presents a deep dig dive into the world of beach volleyball and the Swedish Jump Set. If you guys have been enjoying the content lately, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment down below whether you like beach or indoor volleyball more. Me personally, I am more of an indoor volleyball guy, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are on the road to 250,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. All right, let's hop straight into it. Before we talk about how the nation of Sweden absolutely changed the game of beach volleyball forever, I have a huge announcement to make regarding PME Volleyball merch. I have partnered with my friends over at JUMPLETE as they are now the sole provider of PME Volleyball merchandise and apparel. And one of the first projects that we dropped over a year ago were these PME Volleyball socks. They have been sold out for about the last 6 months, but I am excited to announce that the PME Volleyball socks have officially made their return. You can go check out JUMPLETE.com and take a look at their apparel, and if you click on socks, you will see the official PME Volleyball design. I highly recommend you pick up a pair for yourself, as it is a great way to represent the PME Volleyball family. Plus, they are my favorite sock to play volleyball in, hands down. Also, stay tuned because plenty of PME Volleyball merch is soon to come. Now, enough talk about socks, let's talk about some beach volleyball. In case you weren't quite sure how the Olympic beach volleyball tournament was set up, let me quickly go through it. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, finding this information was a whole lot harder than I thought it would be. But regardless, there was a total of 24 beach volleyball duos that competed for this year's tournament. There were a variety of different ways to qualify, but basically you just needed to be really good at beach volleyball. Beach volleyball differs from indoor volleyball in a couple of major ways. For one, it's 2-on-2 instead of 6-on-6. And the other big way is the scoring. Games are played best 2 out of 3 set wins, and sets only go to 21 instead of 25. If there is a need for a third set, that set is played to 15. For this year's Olympics, there were 6 different pools with 4 teams each. Each team would play against each other, and the top 3 would have a chance to contend for a medal. One of those 24 teams was a pair from the nation of Sweden, Jonathan Helvig and his partner David Aman. These two qualified for the Olympics at a very young age, as both of them are only 22 years old. Jonathan is 6'4" and the taller of the two beach volleyball players. He is the main blocking assignment for the team, and almost all of his defense is always played up at the net. And then you have his partner David, slightly shorter, standing at 6'2". David is the last line of defense for the duo. His job is to read and react what the hitter on the other side of the net does and make a dig. Even though this duo is pretty young, they've been able to accomplish a couple of things in their career worth mentioning. They took home a couple of gold medals at the European Championships, and most recently in the World Championships, they took home a silver. The one thing that I think stands out about this duo in particular is the fact that they are kind of maybe a little bit undersized for beach volleyball. Now, in case you're sitting here watching this video thinking to yourself, how the heck did a couple of 22-year-olds just win the gold medal at beach volleyball in the Olympics this year? Well, guess what? You're kind of like me. So I did some deep diving research into this duo to see what makes them so special. And the simple answer is they have taken advantage of a new strategy found in beach volleyball, and they have perfected it. In fact, they are so good at this new strategy that they've even had the opportunity to nickname it after themselves. And in case you haven't guessed it by now, that strategy is called the Swedish Jump Set. And this is what the Swedish Jump Set looks like. Roll the clips.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
the Swedish Jump Set is basically option volleyball. And an option ball in beach volleyball is when the player who's going to make the second contact chooses between setting the volleyball and going over onto themselves and hitting it. A more traditional style of beach volleyball means that that second contact is almost always set for a third contact, which results in a swing. But what our friends David and Jonathan figured was that they would have the opportunity to give the opposing team so much trouble if they played option volleyball. So what you'll see is in serve receive, they'll purposely pass the volleyball a little bit tighter to the net. That'll give the other player either the opportunity to go up and hit the volleyball on two and take the option, or jump up in the air and perform a jump set. What this forces the blocker on the other team to do is make a decision. Because you're playing volleyball on sand, you lose the ability to have a super quick first step. And so ultimately, blockers have to choose between blocking the option ball or blocking the hitter who could have the third contact. As you can see this being confusing, it just turns beach volleyball into a complete mind game, one that David and Jonathan have complete control over. I think one of the main reasons that they are able to be so successful with this offense is the fact that these two athletes are uber athletic. Both of these guys are super twitchy and agile and have great vertical jumps. And the only way that an option ball Swedish jump set volleyball offense works is only if both volleyball players have A, great ball control, and B, uber off the charts athleticism, which both of these young volleyball players have. I would be lying to you if I said that the Swedish volleyball jump set duo absolutely swept their way throughout the Olympics and had no trouble whatsoever winning a gold medal. In fact, it was honestly quite the opposite for them. They had quite the rocky start to their first Olympic journey. They only won one match in pool play and lost the other two. This gave them only a third place finish in their pool and meant that the path forward to a podium finish for this year's Olympics would be an uphill battle. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. One of the only reasons that I made a video about beach volleyball for this year's Olympics was because of these two. And since I only really saw a video or two of them playing before the Olympics, I wasn't really catching up with them throughout the entire tournament. I probably would have tossed it up to the fact that they were a little nervous. This is the biggest beach volleyball stage in the world, and it is almost expected for a young athlete to have nerves competing on this type of stage. And once they qualified for the single elimination tournament, they did not look back. In the round of 16, they beat Cuba in a 2-1 victory to move on to the quarterfinals. And guys, this would be the last time that they lose a set in the entire beach volleyball Olympic tournament. As first up, they beat Brazil in 2 straight sets to move on to the semifinals. In the semifinals, they bested their opponent, which was Qatar. Qatar was the team in their pool that beat them earlier in pool play and had a first place finish in Pool A, which was the pool where both the Swedish and Qatar volleyball teams were in. They completed their revenge against Qatar, and this gave them an opportunity to fight and compete for a gold medal. And the beach volleyball gold medal match between Germany and the Swedish jump setters was one that I actually tuned into. And this was the biggest beatdown I had seen in the entire beach volleyball tournament just looking at the scores. The Swedish jump setting duo outscored Germany a total of 42 points to 23. They were without a doubt so much better than their opponents on the other side of the net. They won their gold medal match 2-0 and took home what might be the first of many Olympic gold medals. So first up, I just want to say a huge congratulations to both David and Jonathan for taking home an Olympic gold medal for the nation of Sweden. Honestly, it was super impressive what they were able to accomplish and how they were able to play their best volleyball when it mattered the most. I'd say that was definitely not the outcome I was expecting, especially based off their results in pool play. But I think that this result paints a bigger picture for what we can expect moving forward in the game of beach volleyball. And what I think is to come is very simple. The Swedish jump set option beach volleyball offense is absolutely going to be game wrecking for beach volleyball as a whole. I think that this type of beach volleyball offense is so innovating that teams are either going to have to adapt to it to succeed or fall behind to teams that just do it better. I would like to compare this new type of offense to the 3-point line being introduced to the game of basketball. If you don't know, the 3-point line absolutely changed the game of basketball forever. And I think the power of option volleyball offense is going to have the same effect on the game of beach volleyball. This is because since it's just 2 volleyball players with the responsibility of making sure that that volleyball doesn't touch any part of their side of the court, option volleyball just opens up so many holes for beach volleyball players to be successful hitting. And since it is almost virtually impossible for a beach volleyball player to throw up 2 blocks on both players, I think that in 4 years from now, we're going to be watching every single beach volleyball team do some sort of option volleyball offense. And I make these claims really based off what I just saw in the Olympics this year. The majority of beach volleyball teams almost always used all 3 of their contacts when they were on offense. And while that might have worked out for the nations of Qatar and Germany to both finish with a medal at this year's Olympics, it was very evident to me that the Swedish jump set offense was absolutely too much for every other team in the elimination tournament to handle. They held Germany, who they played in the finals, to scores of 21-10 and 21-13 in their match. And watching some of the highlights of that match, Germany just simply didn't know what to do. So if you are a beach volleyball player watching this video, I highly recommend that you implement some of that Swedish jump set offense with your partner out on the sand. I think the sooner that some of these other elite beach volleyball teams catch on to this new concept, the more they will be able to exceed amongst the rest of the beach volleyball landscape. So let me know your thoughts down below on the Swedish jump set. I personally think it's going to change the game of beach volleyball forever, and I am super excited to watch this innovation happen in real time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It would do me a great favor if you leave a like and comment down below letting me know that you made it all the way. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We make volleyball content on pretty much everything in the sport. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.